In the games Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2, there is certainly more going on than meets the eye. And in this video, we are going to talk about many Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2 theories. From who Jack's real dad is to there being a second rat in the gang. The first theory we are going to talk about is if Abigail Marston is a second rat in the game. This theory proposes that Micah wasn't the only rat, and Abigail Marston has also collaborated with the police. In the mission Pouring Forth Oil during the train robbery, the heist goes south since the police show up way sooner than expected. This is due to an anonymous tip mentioned in the newspaper you can find in Saint Denis. And we know this wasn't Micah, since Micah wasn't a rat until later in the game when he gets back from Guarma. Furthermore, in the Saint Denis bank heist, Abigail and Jose cause a distraction, but only Jose gets caught. And also in the same mission, John is the only gang member who isn't killed instantly, instead being spared by the Pinkertons. Could this be part of a deal between Abigail and the law enforcement to protect her son and keep John and Jack safe? If this theory is true, then that means that Abigail got a lot of people killed just to protect the two most important people in her life, and it definitely gives her the Mom of the Year award. Now, since we're on the topic about there being a second rat, let's talk about another possibility on who the second rat could be, and that's none other than Pearson himself. In the previous theory, we explored the possibility of Abigail Marston being the second rat. However, signs point towards Pearson as a potential candidate for the role of the second rat. First, he is the only member of the gang that openly uses his real name after the events of the second game, and he's also running a general store after the game's conclusion. He also displays a framed picture with the entire Vanderlyn gang. And since the Vanderlyn gang is one of the most wanted gangs in the game, you'd think he wouldn't just have a picture with them hanging on the wall. This suggests that Pearson could be the second rat, confident that the Pinkertons wouldn't arrest him due to his cooperation. Another pretty common theory is the theory about who Jack's actual dad is, and if it's John Marston or not. John left the gang just before Jack was born, and in Red Dead Redemption 1, Dutch says that Abigail had a sexual relationship with multiple gang members.
Gentlemen, this man here, oh, he married a whore. Used to ride with us. We all had her. Oh, but he married her.
Even Arthur Morgan also has theories about Jack's true father.
I have to say, you don't look much like a Marston. Maybe a Williamson or an Escuela.
But the most compelling piece of evidence for this theory is Jack's adult character model in Red Dead Redemption 1. Looks nothing like John, but instead has a striking resemblance to Javier Escuela. If this theory is true, then that means Jack might not be John's son, but possibly a member of the Morgan or Escuela lineage. Speaking of the Marston family, let's discuss the theory that Abigail may have been cheating on John. During the epilogue missions at Pronghorn Ranch, Abigail mentions that she's heading to the doctor's office for cleaning. However, if you go to the doctor's office after she says this, the front door has a sign on it that says "Gone Fishing" and the door is locked. While the idea of her engaging in intimate activities with the doctor may seem far-fetched, considering Abigail's history as a former prostitute and if the theory about Jack's real dad not being John is true, then that makes this theory very possible. Now let's talk about one of the most interesting theories in my opinion, the Strange Man. The first encounter you have with the Strange Man, he is wearing a distinctive black suit and a top hat, and he offers missions to John that let him choose between aiding or harming others. But during the final mission the Strange Man has for you, John decides to try and kill him, but this happens.
Damn you!
Yes, many have.
And to make this encounter even more creepy, before John tries to shoot the Strange Man, he says this.
This is a fine spot. See you around, cowboy.
And this fine spot he's talking about just happens to be the exact same spot where John Marston is buried at the end of the game. But wait, this theory doesn't just stop in Red Dead Redemption 1, it's also in the second game. In Red Dead Redemption 2, you can see a framed picture of the Strange Man, and John even recognizes him, but technically John hasn't even met the Strange Man yet.
Who's that?
I don't know. It's just a little portrait somebody gave me once. I always quite liked it. Why?
No reason. Just seemed familiar. Anyway.
Also in Red Dead Redemption 2, if you go to a certain remote cabin, you will see a painting, and if you keep leaving and coming back, the painting will become more and more complete. When the painting is complete, you can finally see that the painting is of the Strange Man, but there's more to the cabin than this. When the painting is finished and you look in the reflection of the mirror that's in the room, it reveals the Strange Man is right behind you, just staring at you. But if you turn around and look at him, he disappears. Now that we've talked about all the strange encounters with the Strange Man, let's talk about who he is. Most people assume he's just a devil or maybe even Satan himself, since he was able to predict where John would be buried. But there was actually a theory that the strange man is Jimmy Brooks. If you don't remember who Jimmy Brooks is, he's the guy that Arthur can either kill or save in the second chapter of the game. After you complete the mission with Jimmy Brooks, if you go to the cabin with the strange man painting in it, you can see a poem carved into the table that's about Jimmy Brooks. And to back this theory up even more, if you go to the Register rock, you can see the name J. Brooks carved into the rock. But the creepy thing about this is the fact that it was carved into the rock in 1963. This is the same year that Arthur Morgan was born, so that means that Jimmy Brooks would have been way too young to carve his name into the rock. So this brings people to the theory that the strange man is a devil that never ages and his name is Jimmy Brooks. Now with all of this evidence, I would also say that Jimmy Brooks is the strange man. Except for one little thing, Jimmy Brooks and the strange man act nothing alike. They are polar opposites. I honestly don't even know what to think about this theory. So many things point towards it being Jimmy, but why would he act so differently when he's talking to Arthur and John? If you have any theories about the strange man, please leave a comment down below. I would love to see what you think. Now since we just talked about a big theory, let's take a step back and talk about some smaller ones. Let's talk about the theory about Bill Williamson. We all know Bill, he's the big tough guy in the group. But what if I told you he was gay? If you go to Bill's tent, you can read a letter that says Bill was dishonorably discharged from the military due to attempted murder and deviancy. Deviancy was a common reason for discharging gay soldiers back in the day. Bill also seems to really like Kieran. This can be seen in many interactions with him and Bill.
What do you reckon, Morgan?
I reckon you two are made for each other.
Made for each other. What do you want, Morgan?
Nothing.
Well, then let fellers have a drink and peace. Hey, no, where are you going? Oh, no, don't take off. Oh, shit.
But that's not all. If you go to a certain cabin, a man will invite you inside. If you decide to go into the cabin, then the man will knock you out, and you will wake up in the middle of nowhere with all of your cores drained. It is heavily implied that Arthur just got graped. Furthermore, if you go back to camp after getting graped, Bill will tell you he knows what happened to you. This implies that Bill knows the man in the cabin and regularly talks to him. But how would Bill know about this man? Maybe Bill willingly goes to the cabin every once in a while. And the last piece of evidence to this theory is in the mission Americans at Rest. Right before Bill starts the bar fight, you can hear Arthur say this.
Hey! There he is!
Watch where you're going! Take it easy,
Are you about to
pal.
kiss that guy or
Take it
punch
easy,
him?
huh?
And that's all the theories we are going to talk about today. And at the end of the day, all of these are just theories and none of them are proven to be true and never will be, but it's always fun to talk about theories. If you guys enjoyed this video and it does well, then I will definitely make a part 2 to it. Also, I know it has nothing to do with Red Dead Redemption, but if you would like to see me talk about why Homelander is the real victim in The Boys, then click on this video. And please consider liking and subscribing. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.